I'm going to try to do this really quick in between writing sessions here. So I wanted to write down, I see sabotage every day, and it's disruptive, it's visceral, it makes you feel sick to your stomach and uncomfortable in a way, mentally and physically, where you're just like, man, why is this person doing this? So anyways, I want to run through the top 10 here, reasons why I see sabotage happen. One, value. Of certainty over variety. And so a lot of times this comes down to familiarity. It's what's more familiar is more comfortable, and then a lot of times they'll overestimate the work needed, so it's easier for them to just stay in kind of their comfort zone. Number two, fear of intimacy or fear of rejection. That's really about vulnerability. Like, they're worried, if they don't win this, what will that mean as it relates to the people who love them? If they fail at this, like, will people still care for them? Number three, procrastination and avoidance. For fear of the failure again, like what that would mean if they failed. This is themselves internally, like, will they lose their self-confidence? Will they mean everything they've been telling themselves for their entire life has been a lie? Number four, unworthiness, low self-worth, like they just don't feel like they're good enough or they deserve to win. Number five, old internal disempowering dialogue, things that they've heard or things that they thought that they heard, like I can't, or you're not good enough, or whatever. And it's not even what they've heard, it's just what they thought they heard. So number one, six, this is the one that'll drive you nuts, sheer boredom. We see this a lot with people that have, they're impatient, or they have been diagnosed with situations with ADD, ADHD. You might see them, they need to get up and move around a lot. They need things to kind of be hip-hop and happening. They haven't figured out how to kind of harness that yet. So they didn't update kind of their, a lot of times also from that sheer boredom comes from uninspiring goals, and they'll pick a fight. I mean, they're looking for anything to cause excitement. So, and they just get bored. Uninspiring goals, that's kind of where that comes from a lot too. Number seven, perceived fraudulence. This is where imposter syndrome comes in, when as you ascend in a sport or in life or academics or business, the stakes get higher, and all of a sudden, like, you're wondering, am I good enough to be here? So that's where perceived fraudulence comes in, that imposter syndrome. Number eight, victim of habit, the scapegoat syndrome, blame without ownership. Like, oh, my mom or my dad or whatever. This is where the kid like says they're burnt out, or like they didn't decide to want to go this path, and they get in there and they're just looking for that scapegoat. Number nine, bad habits from misaligned values and beliefs. This is where partying, drinking, things like that come into play. They're telling themselves, I'm just having a good time. It's just they haven't sat down to see what they're really about. And then the 10th one, perfectionism. Stalling for the ideal setting or timing, etc. And it's never going to be the perfect time. So they never take the time to just say, look, I'm just going to set it up right now. We're going to go with the best case, for right now, and just keep working on it, and realize that there's never going to be a perfect time, but I can make progress. And so those are some ideas around sabotage. Most of them come back to the 6 basic human needs and consistency.